Terri.
Hey, Erika.
How
Good
you
to see
doing?
you. We're live today.
Yay. It's really us live
Yes,
like
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So it's not a recording today.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Good.
I'm going to share this in the Women of the Stars group so people can know that we're there. I think I didn't, maybe I didn't share it last night, the link. Do you know? I don't know.
I didn't really get on Telegram today, so I haven't.
Okay. I'm sharing it. Susan's been working full time. Some
Oh,
people, Lindo was saying, hey, Dab.
hi, Dab.
Linda was saying how he was like, can we do it at a later date? Dab, if you want to come on, let me know. I'll shoot you the link to the thing if you want to. Hey, Monique, our favorite Galactic Star
Oh,
Trek
hey,
reader.
Monique.
Hey, y'all. Well, you know what we were just talking about is when people won't let you be change or become who you are.
Yeah.
I'll give a brief of the scenario. This one woman, she used to do porn. And so now she has a podcast. And I'm telling you, this has to be like 10, 15 years later at the very least, if not even more. So they took a clip from her porn and posted it next to her new podcast cover. But the main thing that she's talking about is, you know, the paths that we take and how to, you know, how we exploit ourselves and how others exploit us or whatever. And, you know, the systematic problems that women and Black women face. And so I would consider having, you know, to do what she did. I'm sure she wasn't doing it just for shits and giggles. She did it as a job. And how someone just wouldn't let you change. But what do you call that when you change your life and someone won't let you? Because there's so many other ways that happens. Because sometimes your parents don't want you to be an adult, right?
Well,
Sometimes
yeah.
people you date don't want you to change or whatever.
Well, they want you to be the way that you've always been because that's their security. Like they don't, for however you've been, if you change, that means that you upset their way of being. Like people should, and I think that's probably a program that's sort of in the mass consciousness, is that this is your lot in life and this is where you stay. That's that mentality. Like, oh, how dare you climb the ladder, or how dare you become successful?
Right. Or like when you become management at a job and people are like, you changed,
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, oh, she used to be one of us. Well, now she thinks she's high and mighty, well, that's not true. They sells us.
What a choice of words you said, because she used to be one of us. Because evidently, if you could find her on that page and you could show a picture of her being in the porn, that means you were watching the porn. So you're the scrub who paid for it and bought it and wanted to watch it, and now you're just mad. So it's like, I know you guys never would think I would be talking about this, but anyway. So they said what you call it is disruptive change, or it causes the discontent in others. Terms like alienating or uncharacteristic or unbecoming might also apply. Unpopular transformation, identity shift, sudden departure from the norm. So I know there has to be a better way. When someone changes and others don't like it, they call it disruptive change. Okay, well,
and I think Erika, as we transition into this happens to all of us. We're all in that change. We have decided to expand our spirituality, expand our knowledge, I'll use this word lightly, but political knowledge, and that, we've done the research, we've checked on things. People don't want to see that change in us, and so what happens is it causes disruption. Absolutely, it's disruptive. And like, what do you mean? Like, Terri, how dare you think this way? You're supposed to be this, this, and this. But we end up living to other people's expectations, and we don't try to move ourselves beyond that. Or I shouldn't say we don't, but when we try to move beyond what other people, the way that we have been defined, then it disrupts everything, because how dare you do that? And I think what we're going to talk about today with affirmations and all that, that's part of the whole thing, is we are opening up and we are expanding. And so a lot of times people want to keep us down, because then it becomes their challenge to also change. They want things that don't rock the boat, keep it the way it is. But meanwhile, you're going down a road that's not for us if we stay the way we're.
This is one of my favorite charts, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Because when we were in business, I would wonder, who can you help, like with the particular business we were in, because it called for having a higher identity. And so this is actually something we're going to backtrack into, is discussing that, right? But the basics, when people are in need of the basics, like food, water, and shelter, that's a whole different person. They're in survival mode. Even when they're looking for safety, security, and stability, they're in survival mode. So when you're operating on those levels, you don't have time to always think and make good choices. You're making survival choices.
Yeah.
So you're actually going to be a different person. And I think this is too, when you meet a person and you're both in survival mode, you guys can bond together to help each other. But then this thing happens. Now you have these relationships and a sense of belonging, and then somehow the relationships begin to plateau out, because now you're beginning to pursue other things, because you've established firm level of the basics and safety in these relationships. And so this is when people are like surrounded by people and they start to wonder, who am I? I have these relationships. I've been blending in and we've been getting along and going along to get along. But then now they may become discontent. And unfortunately, if you're in a relationship and you both don't take the next steps together, this is when people start to grow apart. Funny, because I didn't think we were going to end up talking about relationships today, but
it always ends up into relationships. It doesn't matter where we are. It's about relationships that we have with people, whether it's family or love or work relationships. Yeah.
Yeah. So now when people start to work on their self-esteem, this is when they start telling their mate or their friends, I don't like it when you say that to me. I don't like it when you do that to me. Or, now you begin to dress different, or you begin to carry yourself different, because now your self-esteem starts to kick in a different way. And you need something different from the people around you that they might not be able to offer. Might be if you grow together and if you guys are, truly focused together. But this might be the time where now it's rocky and you're wondering, why is my friend group this way? Why does this person think that I can be the butt of their joke?
Right.
Or they think they can call me at the last minute to make plans, or they think I'm always going to lend them money, or you think about all the things that people do to you and how they just begin to take you for granted. And you're like, wait a minute, like, this is when people start to put their foot down. When you hit self-actualization and you begin to grow to your full potential, now you begin to dream and focus. And, you're not doing vision boards when you're in safety and basics. you're like, girl, there was things and concepts that people would try to share with me when I was in survival mode that I could just blow off. I didn't have the time or energy to listen or the capacity to take it in, because I was still living with trauma, right? I'm still living in trauma. And so now when you get out of trauma, you can get into self-actualization and realize that, are these my feelings? Are these my true desires? What do I really want? Now those higher concepts, I could look back and be like, I remember, I could learn it and be, I remember when my sister said this. I remember when, my teacher said this. And then now all of a sudden those things make sense. But before I couldn't put them into context. So here we are, moving away from, maybe you quit smoking or drinking or using a particular drug that was not helping you, because we've interviewed some people that tell you about their story, their struggles of drug abuse and alcohol and things like that. And now they're like opening up to their creative side and manifesting and trying to figure out what life is. And how dare you throw in my face what I did in 1997 to pay my rent. You know what I mean? Like that just really ticked me off when I saw that.
Yeah.
And so this is when you actually become open-minded, empathetic, adventurous, confident, and creative. And so now you're open up to accepting new ideas. Before you hit self-actualization, you're not really into new ideas. And I think spiritual people, we're spiritual minded people, or I would just say people, or people that we know, people we associate with. Now we're connecting with people who are in that mode, and you will still see people who are fluctuating. But the biggest thing to help you with the fluctuation is your mindset. And a friend of mine brought up the other day the book, As a Man Thinketh.
Mm.
Now, I will suggest a couple of books to help you firm up your mindset, because during my retirement, that's what helped me, was The Power of the Subconscious Mind, As a Man Thinketh. There's Think and Grow Rich, all these Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale books
Right.
that really firm up staying in the positive mindset. So, Terri, I didn't know if you had something to say about that.
Well, no, that yeah, it is. It is about the way we think, the way that we see ourselves, and what we project into the future. Not necessarily to the far future, but how do we see ourselves today? We're going to go into talking about affirmations and stuff, but I'm going to go back to the vision board. I've done the vision board. I did the class with you a couple weeks ago, and I've done vision boards in the past. But so I decided that my vision board this time was going to be just affirmations. And so I put it into like 4 different categories, and I've been using those specific affirmations every morning when I get up. I have it right beside me, like you said, to have the vision board at your eye level. And as soon as I get out of bed, it's there. And what I've noticed is that positive mindset. By doing those affirmations, I don't know that I've necessarily had the result from what I put there, but I have, in the sense that I'm thinking about things in a more positive, in that positive way. And there's no doubt in my mind that these things are going to come to fruition. And so by keeping that positive mindset, you have that belief and that knowing that it's going to happen. And when you have that, you become stronger in it. And so that self-doubt, you're moving out of that subconscious where you're being pulled one way, you're now into that other direction. So I think that that's just what I wanted to say.
Well, you just nailed it, because you got it in
I guess I'm going to have to go out and come back in.
Well, she's hitting the nail on the head, because what she just said, like putting the vision board, you're putting it in your face. I mean, you can put the Post-it notes in your car, on your mirror. You keep whatever it is that you want to think about in the forefront of your mind. So where your mind goes, your energy flows. That's what it says, right? So, and you become what you think about, right? So if you are looking at life as I'm unsuccessful, then you're going to attract what the failure. And there was a clip that I saw. I want to see if I can find it. Oh man, I do see it. It's on Facebook. I'm gonna pull it up. And I'm gonna share this tab instead and see. Hopefully we get some sound.
An anagram.
So in this clip, I think you guys can see it. And let me let Terri back in. So in this clip, there was a teacher. Holy cow. Oh, okay. Here we are back on Instagram. Instagram is kind of hard to do sometimes.
Rearrange the letters to form a word. When you're done, I need to see your hand raised. Put your hands down. Let's just go to number 2. Don't even worry about number 1. When you're done, I want to see your hands up.
Only half the class has their hand up. And look at the guy you see.
Rearrange the letters, and as soon as you do, go ahead and put your hand up. Here's what you need to know. You were both given 2 different lists. This side of the room was given these 3 words. And left side of the room, here you go. They were given bat. What would the word be? The second one, they were given lemon. Brian, the word? Melon. They were easy. The trick here was both of you were given the third word, which was the same. The third word was cinerama, which was American. Your first 2 words on this side of my classroom were not solvable. They were impossible tasks. I'm sorry. I know, but here's what we did this for. I was able to induce something called learned helplessness in the left side of the room very easily within about 5 minutes. I want you to think about what happened to you, this left side of the room, when you saw the right side of the room raising their hands because they already had the task done. Jory.
Felt stupid.
You felt stupid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt rushed.
Felt rushed? Joelle?
I was even more confused.
You were even more confused because they all got it and you were still struggling. Chelsea? Frustrated. And so what happened to show the differences? Why did you have more of a difficult time with the third word, which was the exact same word? Brian?
My confidence was shot.
What you experienced was a term called learned helplessness. How many have heard of the term before? Let me see your hands. Learned helplessness is often used in the academic literature to mean what? Jory?
Basically, they fail once or can't do something one time, and then they apply that to everything in the future.
These are anagrams. Just do the first one only.
So that made me so sad because you could see like when the other kids would raise their hand, the other kids was like, what? They were getting all mad. So they were starting to feel dumb because they couldn't do it or couldn't figure it out, right?
Right.
And so there's things that when we were in survival mode, when we were in a different mode, we felt like, oh, we couldn't do it. It was impossible. It'll never work for me. Well, now we're in this different place and we cannot let the failure of our past determine our success in the future, because just because we failed once at even the same thing doesn't mean that we should pursue life thinking that we'll never be able to do it. There's just things now that we can do differently. Now there's different resources. But what it is really is your mindset is so important as you go out. You have to actually be determined that you cannot fail when you're going after things at this point. And even if, I always say too, even if we don't get to the main objective that we were going towards, it takes us down a path where now we can pivot and decide, do I want more of this or less of that? And maybe change the way we do it. Not necessarily the goal, but change the way we pursue the goal. But to get rid of this past relationships that we had with success, but to become confident. And we really do have to function on a level that we are unstoppable unbreakable, and remove the idea that certain things are impossible. Because there's still some people right now still struggling with finances. The idea of survival, we have to get out of the idea of survival into thriving mode. And the only way we can do that is by changing the way we think. So now if we change the way we think, we do become, what they said, more creative, and maybe going about things in a different way and opening our minds, because now we have, these instruments, these tools where we can be open up to better opportunities, new ways to accomplish things. I don't really even know a way to better say this, but that changing the mindset, and like you said with the affirmations, but it's really the mindset and
Right.
attaching your heart to it, that I know I have to win because I know that the creator is on my side. I've put up a big thing like that, and it's like, well, how can I fail if I know that the creator has a job or a purpose for me? There is nothing more unbeatable or unstoppable as if when you live your life with purpose. Therefore, the book Purpose Driven Life, because when you have a
Right.
purpose driven life, you have a why. And that's a part of what the vision board class was. Why is this task important? And then you will not easily crumble because you have something behind you that motivates you. Like, I can't do this. I can't fail because I have to take care of my son. I can't fail because the world is waiting for me, or creator has a purpose for me. And so you begin this wonder, well, you begin to back your thoughts and your ideas with who will it help to give more meaning. That way it becomes more difficult for you to just give up on yourself and to fold up. I can't fold up
No.
because I got a little person that depends on me, and it really, really depends on me.
Yeah.
Time. And I can't just not show up today because I got Terri waiting on me. And I can't not do this because I know Monique loves this.
Yeah.
And every time I think about just quitting doing things, and I have someone like Dab or Monique or Deborah saying, that really helped me today. And so it motivates me because I want to quit things all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think sometimes we don't realize that our potential is right. It is right in front of us. And we are so pulled away by other people's opinions, by societal norms, that we need to be able to transcend our doubts, right? We need to be able to move past the doubts that we have, that society puts, like, how dare you think that you can do this? Going back to that whole thing we've started off with is other people's opinions. We sometimes put too much weight on those things without being able to just step into a room that's open and go for it.
Oh, I've been looking for this for a long time. This one guy, he because it shows how sometimes when you have your goal, you're almost there. And look, This guy, he turns right around. The person who stopped gambling, the person who keeps gambling. And I don't mean gambling with money, y'all. I mean taking a chance, taking a risk to do something amazing.
Yeah.
Don't quit before you get to your prize. So there is an affirmation. I don't know if you wanted to do the cards first or the affirmation that I had.
Oh, let's do your affirmation. And we'll see how the cards pull in with that.
Here said, get your stuff out my way. Ha 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 ha. Sorry, I'm bad. I got a horrible laugh. I get it from my dad, y'all. Anyway, I have done the work. I trust the process. My mind is focused on positivity and abundance. I am open to receiving the rewards from my effort. I attract good things into my life, and I am grateful for the journey. Even there's some things we try that as long as we're learning a lesson, like learning more, I just feel like everything in life, I'm just learning more of who I am and what I want. So nothing is usually, I'd never really feel like anything is a waste of time or it's all destroyed or it's all ruined the way that we can get sometimes. If I learn, what did I do wrong in the process? What can I do better next time? Like those days when you got paid and then you're like, all my money is gone and I had to spend every dime and I'm broke. And then it's like, wait a minute, but I get paid again in 2 weeks. Okay, so we can start over. That used to be my thing. When I was in my early 20s, I used to be like, oh my God, everything was awful.
You know, I've graded even experiences that we had in our life. We don't know, you know, years later, that experience is going to come in handy. And I'll give you just a weird example. When I was in university, I took organic chemistry, and it was like painful for me because the chemistry I took in high school never prepared me for university level chemistry. So I took about 2 weeks of organic chemistry, and then I dropped the course and I picked up another course. So you know, in all those years, I never thought about organic chemistry. And then I started to make orgonite. Here's my orgonite. And all the lessons that I learned in organic chemistry, they all came back, and I understood exactly how the orgonite was working because of what I learned in that organic chemistry class that I took 2 weeks from. And I sit there and I marvel at it thinking, wow. But, you know, we know from what we've learned that there's no time. So back then I took the course in order to understand what I'm doing now. So I just found it. I always find those things we can look back on our life, and we've had experiences that were good, bad, whatever, neutral, but we can bring them forward to this time, and they help us with the steps that we take as we move forward. So,
and I find that my trials in the past are, you know, now that my life is in a different place, can be used to help someone else who's struggling. Like, oh no, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Results, you know, like you can have results as you move forward. That, I don't know, when you're young, everything just seems like it's all impossible. It's all in your face. It's all just overwhelming. And it seems like this is going to be the rest of your life. And then you realize like, oh, this is only a brief moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
That tomorrow will come and everything, you know, this too shall pass, as they say. This too shall pass. And I think that leads us to your cards.
Yes. And so I think from that whole perspective, right, of self-actualization, and where we wouldn't be listening to this if we weren't really, if that wasn't the path that we were heading on. So the cards today are from the Healing Spirits Oracle Guide by Gordon Smith. And I love these. I love all these cards, but I love these as well. And so the first card that we got is All Is Well. And so it's like we have this ability to just realize that this journey that we're on, all is well, because we end up back with Creator. And this is a journey to understand ourselves. And so when we hold that all is well as our destination, then all the things that happen to us are just happening. They are experiences for us to get to that point that we know that we're heading towards. So, you know, even when we're in a challenging situation, if we can just think about the affirmation that, you know, you've done the work, we're in that process, all is well. And so the challenges are meant for us to help us to transcend and to grow, because, you know, if everything was easy and stuff, then, you know what, we're not challenging ourselves. We're not growing. We're not moving past anything. And this is what we, as humans, what we need is we need a purpose. And so the challenges we have there's a saying that God doesn't give us more than we can handle. So, but in other words, who are we? We're part of God. So we've put these challenges for ourselves to overcome so that it gives us a strength that we know that we have. And so, the second card here is a spiritual hug. So when you are feeling that sense of like, oh, this is so hard, give yourself that hug, that spiritual hug. Know that your higher self is coming back and supporting you. That's where that all is well. So just get that feeling, that essence of that you are going to be able to move past this level that you're challenged with, and you're going to expand even more, and you're growing more. And then the third one is the first step is taken. You have asked for help. So when you realize that, you are on this path, you're already doing, maybe you're doing affirmations, but you're already putting yourself in that position of being grateful for overcoming what challenges you are, and looking at what you've achieved in your life, and how you have overcome challenges, and knowing that those things that you have overcome also propel you forward into along your path. So I don't know, Erika, you have anything you want to add to that?
Honestly, today, what I initially was thinking about was the fact that we have done a lot of work, and now we're looking for the results. And while we're waiting for these results, you got to keep your mind occupied, but you got to keep your mind in a positive state. Mm-hmm. So that as the plan lays out, as your plans lay out, as the rewards come to you, you don't put the kibosh on yourself by thinking bad, that your mind is still in the positive and you're still in the mode of receiving the reward for your results. And so that initially was my thought. I mean, I feel like it all just ties together in these cards, and even in the way that discussion even unfolded, that mm-hmm. all really truly is well. So you really are sitting here, like saying to yourself, everything is going according to plan. My path is cleared. My obstacles are removed. Nothing is standing in my way. And know that you can expect the good from the energy you've already exerted. And it might not come from the place you expect. This is where it could get tricky. It could get dark, because you're like, I did this for my mom, or I did this for my cousin or my sister or for my friend, and I just don't see the results. And it's like, it doesn't necessarily come from where you put it. It comes from alternative sources. So if our head is looking down and we're only looking for the dollar bill on the ground, we might not see the one hanging from the tree because we're focused down. And so it's like we have to just be fully aware, fully open, and staying positive, because maybe the fruit didn't come from the ground. Maybe it's going to come from the tree. We have to be open to receiving from different places in unexpected ways. And this could mean collaborations or just other means.
Right.
Other means. So be open to what you have for you or what is there for you. There is something there for you. You're not put here to suffer. It is not, you did not come here with a birthright to just suffer. You came here to be excellent, to be rewarded, to be blessed, to experience joy. And there is pain here, but you also came here to experience joy and just to hold on to that steadfastly. Mm-hmm. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we have we are in challenging times, but times have always been challenging. But we're at the precipice of making a giant leap into unknown territory. So we wouldn't be here if we didn't have the skills to make these changes.
I got a million of them, Terri. Once you've begun, you're almost done. I'm telling you, when I was younger, I had a difficult time with depression, and it was just these different sayings that helped me keep going. Once you begun, you're almost done. Even the little engine that could, I remember saying, I think I can. I mean, as an adult, I had to reach back to a childhood book and think about the little engine that could. This has been a journey.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been a journey. And if we sit back and look at all the things we've overcome in the challenges we've overcome, we have to give ourselves that spiritual hug, because we've overcome a lot of challenges. We wouldn't be here right now talking in this group if we haven't overcome those challenges. And we have to be proud and grateful that we were able to move past them, and we're moving on to along a beautiful path, and we have the stamina.
Mm-hmm. I had to put that out there because I said so. Because I think you knew this in 2024 or 2023? 2023, I almost drowned, right? And I told you, I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
I cannot die. I cannot die. This cannot happen.
That was your rebirth.
Oh man, this cannot happen.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're about to take your last breath. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. I think that's the biggest thing I get from movies, because there was that one movie about the mist. And the one guy, it was the last four of them. All the monsters came out. The mist was out. And that one guy, I think they were about to take like a cyanide capsule. And then the military came, or the National Guard came, and they cleared out. And it was like, oh my God, we were all about to give up. And just in a matter of a moment, they were saved. So I think you should save yourself in a lot of cases, but just hold out. Help is on the way. About to turn into a gospel song now. Hold on. No, it's not over. It's not over until it's over. So just keep fighting, guys.
Yeah, and I think we can look at some of the tarot cards. They keep telling us to do that. What are the messages when we look in tarot cards and stuff like that? Just keep going. It might be challenging, but you're almost there. Why give up now? After everything you have been doing, why give up now?
After all the work you've done.
Yeah.
Is that the guy? We go back to
the guy. Almost he gave up just before he broke through. Yeah. The diamond.
Yeah. Hey, this thing won't share anymore. It won't share. I don't know what's going on with me.
Okay.
All right, it won't share. Oh well, you have to rewind it to the earlier.
Yeah.
To see it, y'all. I don't know what's going on. My screen is just acting crazy. Oh well. Maybe it'll let me end the show properly, because it might not let us end it properly, because now this screen is stuck. Anyway. Did it do it? Oh, it did it. Oh, after I made a whole big scene and cried and told on you.
Yeah. I'm going to get those diamonds if it's the last thing I do. Oh, and then he gave up. Just about.
Right there. He was right on the edge.
Right on the edge. One more bang, and there it would have been.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
Here we are. So we're going to end that, and we're going to go to Women of the Stars group chat and hang out.
We hang out for a bit. We'll see you all there. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. We'll see you next time.